Here's something else I want to say clearly, because a lot of people teach this in a way that makes it sound effortless. Like once you get it, everything stabilizes overnight. And in my experience, that's just not true. This is simple, but simple does not mean immediate. Let me explain. Awareness, what you truly are, is steady. It doesn't panic or spiral, and it doesn't react. It just is. But you are having a human experience through a nervous system that has patterns. And in my experience, those patterns do not disappear the first day you understand something. They unwind, and that unwinding can feel messy. So think about learning to drive. The first time you sit behind the wheel, it's overwhelming. There's the gas, the brake, mirrors, turn signals, speed, other cars. Your whole body is tense. But now you drive and hardly even think about it. You're still in a car, you're still on roads, there's still traffic. But what's different is your level of embodiment. It didn't become automatic because someone said, "Hey, you're a driver now." It became automatic because you kept getting behind the wheel. This is very similar. When I say you are awareness, I'm not saying that as a motivational statement. It's structural. But living from that, in my experience, that takes repetition. Some days you're going to feel calm and steady. Some days you're kind of in the middle. And some days you're absolutely in the trenches. But that doesn't mean you moved. It means momentum is unwinding. And here's the part that really matters. You don't need to eliminate the human reaction, but you do need to stop changing your position. There's a difference. You can have a nervous system spike. You can feel fear. You can slam a cabinet door. You can cry. That doesn't mean you stopped being awareness. It means a groove fired, and grooves built over decades do not dissolve on a chosen timeline. They dissolve when you stop renewing the contract. That's the key. Not perfection or emotional control, not pretending you feel peaceful. Stability. You just don't fight the old groove or stare it down. You don't analyze it to death. You outlast it. And yes, sometimes it feels louder when you stop feeding it. That doesn't mean it's stronger. It means you're not hypnotized by full identification as a character anymore. When you were fully inside the character, you didn't notice so much because, well, it was just how it is. It was just life. But now you're watching it. And watching can feel sharper because you haven't stepped out completely. But here's what I want to make very clear. You have not messed up merely because it still feels intense sometimes. You are stabilizing. And stabilizing doesn't always feel peaceful. And that's an understatement. Sometimes it feels like holding your ground while something inside you is falling apart. And that's okay, because the decision isn't, I will feel calm. The decision is, I am not moving. Not emotional moving, not emotionally moving, not changing the assumption, not rewiring or rewriting the destination because today feels rough. Peace doesn't mean nothing tries to pull you back. It just means you don't go. And over time, rarely overnight, that changes everything. Not because awareness needed time, but because the nervous system needed repetition. In my experience, this is embodiment, not fantasy, not spiritual maneuvering, not pretending. You live your life. You feel your reactions. You catch yourself. You come back. You don't reopen the file. You don't renegotiate. And you certainly don't declare defeat. You recalibrate. That's maturity. And the more you do this, the shorter the trenched days get. It's not because you suppress them. It is because you stop feeding them. If and when this feels hard, that does not mean you're doing it wrong. It means you're having a human reaction and you didn't break anything. The steadiness builds by repetition, not by force. So if you're in a moment right now where it feels loud or messy or heavy, that does not mean you moved. It just means something old fired. Let it fire. Just don't change who you are. That's the discipline. And that's the road to freedom. If you're sitting in this and going in circles, it won't resolve itself by thinking about it harder. Confusion, fed by repetition, doesn't soften. It often digs in. But you don't have to figure this out alone. I do work privately with people on exactly this. If you're ready to stabilize instead of spin, the email is in my bio. Do stay well.